we go, guys. This is not what I wanted to be doing a video on today. We had a tactic ready, locked and loaded to go. But it has to be pushed because Sports Interactive have today announced that Football Manager 2025 will be delayed until March 2025. They only announced 10 days ago that the release would be pushed back to the end of November. They've seen even more issues within the studio and things are going to be moved back until March 2025. This is the news article that they have posted on their website. I will leave a link to it down below so you can read it yourself, but it does say, after careful consideration, Sports Interactive have made the tough decision to further delay the release of Football Manager 25. Following discussions with Sega, our licensors and partners, we have agreed the best course of action is to delay the launch until March 2025. Specific platform release dates will follow once confirmed. Now, that is a massive body blow to me, to you as content watchers, as people within the community, right? There's a reason that I am able to make videos on this Football Manager franchise, and that's because of you. And it's going to come as a big problem for you guys. It's a big problem for me. I'm sure some of the full-time guys in the community are scratching their heads as to what they're going to do for the next couple of months, because I know I am. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next couple of months. If you want to see different stuff on the channel, let me know down in the comment section. Let me know what you want to see, because we're going to have a lot longer on FM24, but I do have to say to you guys, I'm feeling a bit burnt out with FM24. There's only so much you can look into the same game, right? There's only so much you can do. There's only so many teams you can rebuild and so many tactics you can put out. So if there is anything you guys want to see, please, honestly, do let me know down in that comment section. Moving back to the release, it says, in our last development update in September, we explained that we needed to push FM25's original release date back to give ourselves more time to deliver the best possible experience in this first installment of our new era of Football Manager. This additional time has not been sufficient to ensure the game quality and experience meets your expectations and our very high standards. In the previous blog, we explained that it has been a difficult development cycle for the studio. Many things have been moving slower than we had predicted, despite everyone in the team working at an incredible pace to try and get everything done. Now, obviously, this is all about the move to Unity. For those of you who didn't know, Sports Interactive had their own in-house stuff that they would use to build the match engine on, to build the graphics engine on. It was all in-house. Now, this is the first time ever that they've gone external. They've gone to a third party to make this happen. They've selected Unity as that engine, and things just aren't ready. And that's disappointing, because I know they've been working on this project for a long, long time. They wanted this to be a new dawn for the Football Manager franchise. And I have to say, I'm disappointed. Like, it's missed the mark for me. The lack of communications in terms of what we were actually seeing, visuals on the game were slightly alarming to me, a little bit worrying that we weren't actually seeing stuff of the game at the time of year. When they do release trailers, they don't necessarily always show the game. I understand that. It was more of a timing thing around when they were showing stuff for me. That was a problem for me. If we move on, it says timelines were already tight, and as rightly pointed out by many of your recent comments, we simply rushing too much in danger of compromising our usual standards. This has an enormous amount of pressure on everyone working across the studio, who are all passionately committed to delivering the best game possible. FM25 is the biggest technical and visual advancement of the series for a generation. We simply cannot compromise the delivery of this crucial juncture in Football Manager's history by rushing it to release in November. So what they've done there is they've pushed it back to make sure that the game is good. They don't say in this release anything about the price of FM25 when that does launch. Will it be cheaper? Who knows? We don't know the answers to this question. Will it impact future releases of Football Manager? Again, at the moment, we don't know this information. And to be honest, I doubt the team in the studio even do. Obviously, it said at the top they have to talk about partners. They have to talk about Sega, for instance, the owner of Sports Interactive. But in this iteration, they're going to have to speak to the Premier League. The Premier League license was one of the headline things that they had announced that was a positive for FM25. You'd have to think that they've gone and spoken to the Premier League to talk about this and push the game a little bit. So it's not the best solution for everyone. It also goes on to say, of course, this is not where any of us expected to be 7 weeks out from our release, but in the spirit of our studio values, we always consider the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is that we needed additional time to deliver a game that we can all be proud of. And I think that's the big thing. They're not proud of this game right now. They're not proud of it right now. That's why they can't show it. They're not proud of how it looks. They're not proud of the screenshots that have been put out. And the fact that it's all been part of a design file. It's not been in the game. It's all been a work in progress. And it's quite evident from this release and what's actually said in it that they're disappointed themselves as a studio. They know they've missed the mark with this one. And it is going to be a massive disappointment to their community. I can only imagine what is happening on Reddit, Twitter, anyone who's live on Twitch right now. I can only imagine the devastation that is going to ripple through this community. And ultimately, I think it could have such a detrimental impact to this franchise. If you see some big creators go and branching out into different games, playing different stuff, who knows what they're going to enjoy. Much the same with you guys. If you aren't playing Football Manager, you're burnt out by FM25 and you go and play something else, that might capture your attention a little bit more. And I think that's a big, big worry for Sports Interactive. Then they go on to say, for the large number of you who have already pre-ordered the game, we thank you very much for your trust and support. Given the delay, however, should you wish to claim a refund, please contact your retailer. So it does look like they are going to honor the refund of this if you have pre-ordered already. I do have a code. I've not made it available to anybody really because I told people I won't be pre-ordering the game until I saw the game. And that kind of rings true now. Now we can't see the game because it's been pushed back. You can see why it's been pushed back. Those of you who have pre-ordered, as they say, if you contact your retailer, I think Sports Interactive will honour the refunds there, which is going to hit them with a bit of a personal cost as well. Moving on, the final concluding bits of this is something you noticed as missing from our announcement on the 30th of September was the mention of advanced access on PC, Mac, and we can confirm advanced access will be available ahead of the new release date, and when we are confident on how long that period will be, we will update you at the first opportunity. It then goes on to say the new gameplay reveal will also now move to the end of January 2025. So that leaves us with lots of time. There will be early access, there will be a beta period, but it's not going to be until 2025. We don't know if this is going to impact future releases. We don't know. We just don't know. This is a very clear and concise statement. I read this a couple of times first before jumping on to record this video because obviously with the title and the thumbnail and stuff like that, it is going to be a bit reactionary. It is going to get a positive, it is going to get a negative reaction, just like you would expect from this news. The release, just to finalize it, it says we are intensely aware that this will be a massive disappointment to you. We share that disappointment and are extremely sorry. Thank you for reading and your patience. It means the world to us as we continue to work on creating a new era for Football Manager. It's difficult. It's difficult because I think the game will be an advancement once it arrives, but that is now just a long time away. And for me personally, I don't know what I'm going to do content-wise. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, I'm a little bit burnt out by FM25. I've been playing a lot of pro clubs. I've been really enjoying the FC25 kind of thing. If that's content you'd like to see on the channel, please do let me know. Also, let me know your comments down below. But I do have to stress, it does say in here about the difficulty of moving engine. For those of you who are that way inclined, it's got nothing to do with women's football. Come on, guys. It's very apparent here that the move from the in-house engine over to Unity is the problem here. So please, there is a reason to be upset, but the reason to be upset is not women's football. And I think that's the thing. I think you're more than welcome to make your feelings known in the comment section. You're more than welcome to make the feelings known on the forums, on Reddit, on Twitter. And I think that's fair. I think you're very much entitled to your opinion with those things, as long as they're about the right things. And I think there's enough right things that you can kind of mention SI with missing this deadline and missing everything that's gone on here. Because it's a massive disappointment. They sum it up perfectly. It is a massive disappointment. I'm disappointed. You're disappointed. The studio itself is disappointed. Football Manager FM25 will be out in March 2020.